Welcome back. You are still watching TJIL Sessions right here on NTV. As you guys know, we do not only count down music videos on this platform, we also bring you the best in entertainment news. And joining us for today is Ndilimeke Nambinga from that is a Mindscape event. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for having me, Michael. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for making time for us. So let's get right into it. You guys, and when I say you guys, I mean Mindscape Events,
Correct.
Recently launched, that is the Creative Summit that is slated to take place in September.
Correct.
Of this year. Please take us through what is the Creative Summit, what is this event about, and all the details that we need to know about this event.
So the Namibia Creative Summit was really created with one of the main aims, really in trying to see how we can harness, the talents that we have locally, in order for us to contribute to the developmental agenda of the country. I mean, we have so many creatives in this country. Yet we have not been always able to tap into the full skill set that we have in Namibia. So the Namibia Creative Summit then came and, when Mindscape, then we said, let's create a platform where all 13 industries can be represented. Because right now what we have is individual industries either having associations, and some industries, unfortunately, are not even represented at all.
True.
So we just thought that maybe this is the perfect platform to look at skills, to look at education, to look at policy making, to look at, across the board, and no one then is left out. So correctly said, it is in September. That is on the 6th of September, as well as the 7th. On the 6th, we have the summit aspect of it, where we're going to be having deep discussions, right? And they're going to be like 4 different discussions. We're going to have people locally,
Is this the whole day?
It's a whole day. And we're also going to be having exhibitions the very same day. One thing that we also wish to have as well is masterclasses. And we're really just calling to, corporates, organizations that are interested in saying we want to contribute to the skill set of the country. We want to say, please come through and help us with the masterclasses, just so that people walk away with something instead of just coming and nothing happens. So we want to have masterclasses. And then the 7th, what we have is the Iconic Music Fest. And for the Music Fest, it's all about lifestyle. It's all about seeing the talents that Namibia has, its exhibition, its artists, its corporates. So we really want to see how we can harness talent, how we can spot talent, but most importantly, how everybody can come on board and really support the creative industry. We see it so many times, Michael, in many other African countries, how the creative industry is being boosted, how it's being, and in Namibia, it's a bit different. And trust me, it is challenging. And I'm sure being a creative entrepreneur, I can tell you it's really challenging. It's not easy. So how can everybody, the policymakers, the government, the different stakeholders, including as well, the creative industry, come together and say to make it work, but also understanding that there's also a responsibility that we as creatives also need to come through on the table. It's one thing to get support and you don't bring what's expected of you, and how you can also better, enhance your craft, enhance your skills, and that is what the summit is really all about.
I must, commend you on the whole idea of the summit. But I believe what I would like to know, and also I believe some of our viewers at home would like to know, is something like this, something where you are doing an initiative to empower the creatives. It has happened before. It always happens. And what I want to know is did you guys come up with a committee? Because you did mention there are going to be panel of discussions and things that are going to be discussed. I want to understand, after the discussions, as creatives, they've voiced out their problems and all of that. Is there a committee that is set to sort of like follow up and make sure that the things that are discussed at these discussions, at this summit, are followed through after, and it's just not a thing of we shared our problems or we were told how to move forward, but then in terms of like the execution, there's no one there to follow through. Is there a committee to follow through what is going to be discussed?
Now, one thing that we believe as Mindscape events, especially with this type of event, is monitoring and evaluation.
Yeah.
And that's for us is so important because we want to be able to measure the impact.
Yeah.
And thank goodness we have partners on board currently. We have the Namibian National Arts Council, we have the NTN, and this is something we're doing all collaboratively. Now, one thing that we are definitely doing is from the information that we get out of the summit, those sectors that have representation in terms of their different houses, we give the information to them and say, this is what we've gathered out of the summit, and this is what needs to be done. And then those sectors that don't have any representation, what we want to do is then look at how are we able to build that leading up to the next summit. We do not want summits to just be a thing, again, what you said, you have a summit, it's done, it's dusted, and another one comes forward. The whole point is to build momentum from beginning to the next one, to the next one. Then you see a difference. We want to be able to say, by the next summit, what was the impact of the previous summit? And we really want to be able to see examples as well.
And highlight the things that were, executed. I think for me, that's like the most important thing, to just make sure that it was just not all talks. We did make sure that we followed up and implemented all of the things.
And one of the systems, one of the things that we're also doing, for example, is because the summit itself on the 6th is free, we also, together with the National Arts Council, are looking into how to get people in the deep, on the lower ground, on the grassroots that may not have information or access to find out, for example, about the summit. So we are really, really trying to make sure that everybody who needs to be in this discussion, everybody who needs to be part of the summit is part of the summit. Because then if we do not do that, then what was the point of having a summit if it's just everybody who might have access to a taxi or a car coming through? So these are some of the aspects that we're really trying to do. The whole point is how to change what we have, the status quo, and how we can make it better. But most importantly, everybody has a responsibility. And one of the key things, like I mentioned earlier on, Michael, right, is we have realized that most people don't understand that it takes a two-way relationship. Even if you say, oh, Michael, please sponsor me for this, you have a responsibility to come back to, I have a responsibility to come back to you and say, Michael, with the money you've sponsored me, this is what I've been able to do. This is how I've been able to grow. But if you remain in the same position year in and year out, why am I doing? And then you cry foul and say, oh, Michael's organization does not want to support creatives. So I think it's a two-way street. It's not just about listening. What do you do as a creative after the summit as well? How can then we engage? Where do you think that we can help each other? And there will be platforms where people can air these things out, and then for us also to see what to do for it. All
right. Well, there you had it. Before I let you go, though, we do know that we have established that it's a 2-day summit, the first day being free. Where is it taking place?
All right.
The actual summit, where is it taking place? As well as the iconic Music Fest, where is it taking place? And also, when are the tickets going to be out for the iconic Music Fest?
Okay, I just want to tell everybody that the summit will be happening at the NTN Theatre, that is in Windhoek, Namibia, the National Theatre of Namibia. That's in the center of town. I believe it's Robert Mugabe Avenue, right?
It is,
And then the iconic Music Fest will be at Weghoop Stadium. We try to make it Windhoek High, correct. We try to make it as central as possible so that everybody can have access to that. Tickets, please watch out on our social media pages. That is the Namibia Creative Summit for information on how to apply as well, how to apply for the summit, because applications will go out for you for participants. Yes, especially on day one, because I believe that
it's free, but you have to sign up before.
Yes, we have to sign up. I mean, there's certain information.
And that's important. A lot of us here in Namibia, we don't even take the culture of RSVPing important. So you have to register and look out for this information on their platforms.
Yes, the Namibia Creative Summit, that is Instagram as well as Facebook. We'll also be going platforms such as these to announce when the ticketing will start, as well as when the applications will go out and then when the applications close. So please, I implore everybody out there to say, please engage with us on our platforms and watch out social media, watch out, all the type of platforms such as this, NBC, etc., where we'll be announcing the opening of the ticketing, as well as what will be happening during, what people can expect in terms, especially of the summit, because I think that's the one that I'm most passionate about, what they can expect at the summit, and then obviously also the lineup that will be happening on the Saturday as well. So it's quite exciting. So we implore everybody to just keep their eyes and their ears open. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Ndilimeke, for making time for us and informing us about the upcoming That is Creative Summit set for September. Please be on the lookout as stated. But back on the countdown, we do have That is Florito at number 3. This one is titled Accelerate. Let's check it out.